Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rule as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is We Can't Talk About the 2019 Juice. And basically, I'm going to get into that. What I wanted to go into, or what I was trying to go into, was basically, in Revelations where it says these shall hate the whore, meaning the EU NATO nations are going to begin to hate the whore, and as we see in prophecy, being fulfilled right in front of our eyes, we can see different reasons, why these different nations are actually saying, you know what, I no longer want to be a part of you. Some of those reasons are, the collapse of the dollar, the debt that's stacking up, going back to Habakkuk 2 around verse 3. Um, and just the different um, ways that they're handling, current world affairs, right? Because these different nations look to Babylon the Great as who they claim to be. This angel, basically, the god of the people, right? And now it only seems that they're not caring about the different war crimes that are happening around the world, and that they're only providing these different nations with the weapons to go ahead and do these things, and not basically doing anything about the blockage of the humanitarian aid. A lot of what they're doing is word service, right? They're speaking on, hey, don't do this, or hey, don't do that, instead of actually doing something about it. And the nations are seeing this. So one of those nations being Turkey, what I want to get into, which, because this happened a while ago and I don't have the information anymore, I don't want to really go into it, but I will speak on it. Basically, what happened back, I believe this is the earthquake. If anybody's listening, that may know about it, you can put something down in the comment section, to help me, and I can make a lesson on it. But basically, a earthquake happened in Turkey, and America was first to jump up and speak on it. And at the time, people believed that it was America that caused it, and I believe even the Turkey president or prime minister, however that goes, he said, if I'm not mistaken, he basically said, you'll find your enemies there first, or something like that. And that goes back to scripture. I don't know if he said that exactly, but I remember there were talks that saying, America caused this, just like there's talks now in the media with weather modification, and using weather as war and different things, different beams, laser beams, whatever they could do to cause an earthquake, So at the time, that's what they did to Turkey. And now, as things moving forward, we can see that Turkey is one of those nations that were basically in bed with Babylon the Great, but because of the different things that Babylon the Great has done to Turkey throughout the years, whether that be agreements that have, not Babylon hasn't, met properly, or different things, it's more easy for Turkey to switch sides, because currently Turkey is in a process of trying to join up with BRICS nation, and that would be against Babylon the Great, against the dollar and things like that. And I was gonna, basically go into this earthquake that people said that Babylon the Great caused, but I don't see any, from the little search I did, I don't see any information on saying that, yeah, well, it was this, it was that, Babylon, or whatever the case may be. But I do see that on the area there was, it was on the fault, and basically that's what they're saying, caused the earthquake, so, and that could be, something that Babylon the Great used and took advantage of and target this area, because they understood and knew that it would cause great damage, and that's maybe why they pointed to Babylon, being the cause of it, because this is Satan, right? The devil. So anyway, that's that. That's what I wanted to get into, but like I said, I'm not gonna go into it too deeply because I don't have more proof than what I remember, So if anybody does, you can drop it in the comment section or something like that. So moving on, and the scripture I was going to use, which I'll still get, because we're still talking about Esau. We're still talking about the devil. And this is true, and this could be true for what I'm about to get into now. And so I'll start at 16. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 16. It says, "An enemy speaketh sweetly." I'll start at 15. It says, "For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry." Right. So this is going into the enemy, the wicked, and our biggest enemy is Esau, Edom, and these different nations. Right. Of course, these are all our enemies, but number one being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So it says, "For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry." And this goes into maybe individuals as compromise. Say you compromise and you're trying to do something, and then you begin to be found out. You think Esau Edom is going to stick around. Um, Probably not, or he just won't care because he's the devil. So an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So this is going to go into what I'm talking about, because you have different, ads, billboards. You have different, athletes and actors and different things that told you to take that 2019 juice, to go ahead and do that. And that's them speaking sweetly, saying, "Hey, listen, this is good for you to help." And now it's coming out that all different types of problems are coming from this 2019 juice. It says, "If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance." So this is, this is that man, Esau, Edom, that man being revealed, and all the nations are seeing this, that he is this person that, made them to be drunken with that wine, and now they're upset because they're seeing basically everything falling apart that Babylon the Great has had a hand in. Different nations are complaining about that 2019 juice. Here's one thing here. You can just read the title, or I'll just skip some words. It says 5-year-old with severe autism, you know, after judge mandates 2019 juice in one day. And then we have another big one, which is happening all over the place, especially in China. Or at least I see China talking about it a lot. I've seen other places talking about it. And now Australia faces uh, this word here, collapse, as rate hits record low and excess deaths soar. And all this goes back to that 2019 juice. And this is, something that's, basically ongoing, because this posted October 18, 2024. So, and that's going back to a manner of, different things. Basically, Esau even coming down with that great wrath, pursuant to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. um, them trying to get a hold of gun rights. That's why you're seeing an increase in like gun violence. So that way they can come in and say, well, we need to, better control the gun, rights, or can take them away completely. And also, so they want to take your weapons away, so when they come in, it'll be less of a struggle or something, and they also want to basically, the Georgia Guidestones said, to keep population below 500 million, I believe it was. So, this is something they are trying to accomplish and are accomplishing by this 2019 juice, as you can see, because this word here is happening in the D pop, and all of that. So all these things are happening. Everyone sees it. Everyone's talking about it right after that guy Bill Hates issued, his thing. He's now, I think he's in Africa or something, issuing something else, and they're even complaining about it right now. So, that's pretty much it. This is just Satan being revealed in these last days. No longer being able to hide, moving real fast and real sloppy because he has a short time. So now, as he's trying to move fast to accomplish what he's accomplishing, he's being found out more and more to be the devil, to be who he is. So, that's the point. And I'll get these scriptures. And a lot of times I wanted to get this first, because a lot of times it says 1 Corinthians 2 and 11, least Satan should get advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. And as watchmen, for the sheep. It's our job to watch and warn. So there's a lot of things that we could warn on that necessarily, you don't really have too many scriptures to back it up because it's not really prophecy. It's just we are watching, we're seeing. Certain brothers, different individuals are in the news daily. The scriptures say that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua will pour out his spirit on all flesh. And knowledge shall be increased. And we can see different, alternative media outlets, pushing out different news of things that's happening, without them even bringing out scriptures. But, we, the men of the Lord, always tie it back to scriptures. And simply put, basically, is Satan being revealed, the devil, him making the nations mad. That's basically what a lot of this boiled down to. The nations are upset, right? That's why you have alternative news outlets all over the world now, you know, in many different places. And even some of the mainstream news outlets that's of another country that's actually reporting the truth and saying, what the hell is Babylon the Great doing? Why aren't they helping? Why are they just sending money, to Ukraine and different things? You got talks of, okay, you can bring in migrants to Babylon the Great, but you can't actually help the people that's already in Babylon the Great. So there's uproar of people, and that's going to Matthew 24, when the different things that we will see towards the end, right? And this is the end. This is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. The Lord being Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And once again, going back to this thing, people are now trying to press charges. I wish I had that article. I just thought about it. Are trying to press charges, on Bill Hates, for him pushing out that 2019 juice and the different things that he's pushing out now. Esau Edom has been found out, because these other nations are like, yo, you brought this to us, and it's causing this happen, it's causing this to happen, so you're to blame, basically. It's Isaiah 14:11. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worm cover thee, right? So this is talking about Babylon the Great, right? It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And Lucifer is just going to, illuminated ones, right? Those that have the knowledge, the understanding, which will be light bearer, right? It will be the banking families, the elites, right? The ones that control the world, the ones that wrote your or allowed your dictionaries to be wrote, or your history books, your school curriculum, right? So to tell a lie, you have to know the truth, right? So this is your banking, or your banking elites, the elites of the world, the ones that rule the world. That's why Job 9:24 says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, right? So they are the wicked, and they push out whatever they wanted you to push out, right? But the men of the Lord are here to bring out that truth, and through the men of the Lord bring out this truth, now Yahweh Bashmi Shai, through his power, of course, has put out that spirit upon all flesh, where all truth is being brought out, right? And through this fourth industrial revolution, the technology age, coming from the third industrial revolution, now that we have smartphones and smart devices and cameras and things like that, we can easily get to the truth more quickly, and we can get to the actual truth of what's going on in the world more quickly, and to push it out there faster and further, so it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And how did they do that? Through their policy. The one scripture, they shall have craft to prosper, in their hand through policy, and with their policy they shall. Let me try to find it real quick. One second. So they did they weakened the nations by what? Sanctions, war, just being able to put different laws on these different nations because they ruled the world, and because of trade and things like that, and because of their beast system, that goes into the EU and the NATO, since they were so big and they are joined together, it was more easier for them to say, well, this one nation, we're going to block this one group of people or one country or whatever, from receiving goods. And all my people that are joined unto me, which would be the NATO and the EU, Babylon is saying, look, don't do service with them. And that's another reason why, you know, the nations are mad, along with this 2019 juice. But that those sanctions, those things weaken the nations also cause, these other nations or these other countries that are joined to Babylon to suffer also, by having one main example is Russia. I think it was something with the gas or something, they tried to sanction Russia, so Russia had to cut off, some gas pipes or something, whatever the case may be, and it made over there in Europe area, messed up basically. So let me get that that's Daniel 8 and 25. And I'll just read it from here. This is Daniel 8 and 25 in the KJV. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Right? And that's, and I'll say, and I'll continue. It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right? So, that says a lot. A lot of things has happened through his policy, that he's able to prosper. One of those things being, over there, the war in Ukraine and Russia, Ukraine was trying to join NATO, and obviously, if Ukraine joins NATO, then basically World War III would happen because all NATO would have to join to fight against Russia, and you can only imagine that Russia would get its allies to help, Russia, and basically, there you go. So anyway, instead of Ukraine joining NATO, they formed some other policy where U.S. is able to send missiles and different things to help them without them actually being a part of NATO. So there you go. It says, verse 13, it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? So you can see that Babylon the Great, made the earth and tremble and did shake kingdoms. A part of that being through their policies and different things. So Babylon is fallen. This is 18, Revelations 18 and 1. It says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitations of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right, so Babylon will be destroyed. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through her abundance of her delicacies. And I mean, I probably should have changed the title, but at the same time, it is what it is. I'm more so going into the fact that the nations are upset with Babylon the Great, and it's showing through my title, and with them having an uproar, which is also prophesied that we see uproars of the people. We're seeing uproars of actual nations where presidents of nations, and doctors and, everyone high up there saying, hey, listen, you guys are doing this to the world and to, our body, and things like that. So this is not medical information or anything like that. Just in the news, right? So this is Habakkuk. We're going to start at 2 and 15. It says, Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, that maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And a part of that was, them coming with that the smooth talk, saying, hey, listen, this 2019 juice is good for you. You're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. And ultimately, what the news outlets are showing now is that that's not the case. And these different countries are also speaking out and saying, this is happening in my country, and it's because of this, which would be that 2019 juice. So uh, again, Esau Edom has been revealed in his kingdom, and everything that he stands for is fallen. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Because the nation have always looked up, for the most part, to Babylon the Great as this great, place. This was, considered the great melting pot, right? All nations came here. People want to escape where they live and come here, as some chance of, I don't know, betterness, But now people are seeing that this place is messed up, and on top of that, they're allowing people to come in here, and they're doing it out of order. They're not. They're overfilling, what they are allowed to carry, basically. Regarding the migrants. You don't have enough space for these different individuals. You have homes for them, but then you kick some of them out, and now they're in the streets, and they're not being policed properly. These individuals are attacking the cops, and this is all what they're doing, right? And everyone is watching, and everyone is seeing this, including their own people, because a part of the nations that are mad is your very own people in Babylon the Great that are upset. The everyday working class American. And that's why the scriptures say, every hand of the wicked shall come upon thee also, which is the working class, the laborer, right? Because they are also upset about what's going on. And there's videos, and testimonies and different things regarding this 2019 juice, how it has affected, these people here in Babylon the Great also, you know. So this is Second Thessalonians 2:1. It says, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Yahweh Shai is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And that falling away did happen, right? It was the falling away of the Israelites, right? So all the nations, pursuant to the book of Revelations, they were happy, that we felt, the Israelites, we felt the way, they had us, oppressed us, put us in slavery and things like that, right? So they were so happy. But the day of Yahweh Shai is at hand, and now, those happy days are over for these heathen. It says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is that man of sin. It says, who opposes and exalteth himself above that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's exactly what he did. He showed himself to be God. That's why the nations, looked up to this individual, Babylon the Great. But now, as we inch closer towards the end, everyone is seeing, and one of the main things that's coming out also, again, is that 2019 juice. So with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'll say shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.